Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of More to the Story. I hope y'all had a great weekend. I really enjoyed mine up until Sunday night. My team had to get a beating on national television, even though we didn't really get beat that bad, y'all. Don't, let me not drag it. We didn't get beat that bad, but wasn't a great showing by my team tonight. We didn't look great. Caleb does not look good yet. CJ Stroud always looks good. So, I'm a little salty. I'm 100% salty. I will be able to admit that. Saw Jaden Daniels play today. He was a number 2 pick. He looks better than Caleb so far. Sorry, he looks better. Um, but yeah, besides the Sunday night, it was a pretty good weekend, guys. Hung with the family again. You guys are gonna hear that a lot from me on this pod. I do hang out with my family a lot, guys. I don't really go out much. My life really consists of work and recording this podcast for y'all, man. Doing what I love. I don't get nothing from going out, in my opinion. So I'm gonna keep recording. I'm gonna keep coming at you guys weekly with these NFL recap, summary, and takeaways from myself. But yeah, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you guys were safe. Hope y'all ain't do nothing that I wouldn't do. Basically, more of the story. Hope y'all ain't do nothing crazy. Dang, I didn't even realize moral of the story, more to the story. You feel me? Y'all see what I did there? Y'all see how I'm coming this week, man, with the puns, with the punchlines, with the bars. But let's get into this episode, guys. This is officially week 2 summary recap and takeaways of the week 2 NFL season. A lot of upsets, guys. Very weird week. Week started off kind of weird with Tua Tagovailoa, another concussion on the Thursday game. The 49ers were upset by the Vikings. Cowboys are upset at home by the Saints. And I don't really know if it's an upset as of now because the Saints actually look legit. Um, yeah, very weird week, guys. I also will be giving you my first segment of this podcast. It's gonna be my 5 way too early hot takes. I will be doing that with football this season, and when NBA comes around, I'm gonna be giving y'all my 5 way too early hot takes. But I got my week 2 way too early hot takes written down. I had to just revise one because I just got a pretty big bombshell from Adam Schefter this morning. Well, not this morning, this afternoon, about 30 minutes ago to an hour ago. Bryce Young has been benched as QB for the Carolina Panthers. I'm so disappointed in Bryce. I'm a Bama guy, roll tide to the day I die. But damn, my brother does not look good. It not look good is an understatement. He does not look good, bro. He got benched for Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's been in the NFL since I started watching the NFL. So that just goes to show how bad Bryce is. But yeah, like I said, guys, very, very wonky week of football. I hope you guys, whoever bet this week, I hope you guys hit because I know this weekend was very weird. A lot of L's are on the board for some of the people I know. And some people picked up this weekend, some people lost. It was a weird college weekend as well. Not a lot of big games. But let's get into these games, guys. NFL. First game I'm gonna cover, guys, is the Thursday game, Bills versus Dolphins. And I'm gonna start off with the biggest storyline of this game. Tua Tagovailoa gets another concussion, and it is sad because it did not look good again, like the last one that he got against the Bills, where it might be time for Tua to hang him up, guys. And I say that not even to be funny. I've seen the memes. I've seen all the stuff about it. This situation is not funny at all, but it's just like, Tua, bro. You got to know when to walk away, brother. This NFL post life for these players have not been good. Post NFL careers have been scary for a lot of guys. We just seen it with Jacoby Jones for the Ravens. We've seen it with Aaron Hernandez. We've seen it with we've seen it with countless players. Like I can't even name all the players. There's been so many guys. I don't think Tua should lace him up again. In my personal humble opinion, he's taking too many headshots. He doesn't know how to get tackled. He doesn't know when to slide. And this one was just such a routine play, guys. Like Damar Hamlin, out of all people, it was Damar Hamlin, guys. I know that just makes it even worse. But it was just a routine play, man, and he just really he got knocked out from that. Like it's just like Tua, it doesn't get any safer than that, my brother. It's about that time, man. You know, Tua is only 26 years old. Coach Mike McDaniels did not make the case any better for him as well, saying that retirement is the last thing Tua should be thinking about. I absolutely disagree. I think that's the absolute first thing Tua should be thinking about because Tua has so much life ahead of him. He has a family that he has to take care of. He just inked a crazy deal with $124 million guaranteed this summer. If he gets medical leave, ladies and gentlemen, he gets to walk away with the $124 million. I don't understand what we even talking about here. I mean, I think he should just take the medical leave and live his life so when he gets to his 40s and over, he can remember how he got that money. Cause I guarantee you, he keep playing, he not even gonna remember how he got this money. He keep taking these hits. I mean, honestly, bro, like it's not looking good for Tua. Prayers out to him though. I hope he's able to return if he does at full capacity. I hope he doesn't get hurt anymore. This is on. It's really scary to see. Like to see his hands freeze up and lock up like that again. Is not. This is not okay. Like Tua, he has to slow down. But if he continues to play again, I'm rooting for the guy. Another Bama guy. This is his. I seen him have a concussion at Bama. I looked. I did my research. This is his fourth concussion, man. One in college, three in the NFL, three in the last two seasons. It's it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. But that's enough for the rant. I'm gonna end it right there. Prayers out to Tua and out to his family. Get 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 right, brother. Take your time, recover. But on to the game. It was a very lopsided Thursday night game. The schedule makers are off to a very shaky start with the primetime games. This Sunday was good. You know, even though my Bears lost on primetime, it was still a pretty competitive game. It wasn't a blowout. But this Thursday night game was an absolute blowout. 31-10, Bills win it. Josh Allen didn't even have to do too much. I think Josh Allen only had 160 total yards in this game, 139 yards passing the ball with the touchdown. James Cook was an absolute beast in this game. James Cook had 95 yards, three total touchdowns. I think they were all in the first half. He was going crazy. Had him on fantasy this week. Shout out to James Cook. Thank you for saving my fantasy week because Tua did get hurt and was knocked out early. But Tyreek Hill was a non-factor in this game. One reception for 12 yards. Jalen Waddle was quiet. The backup for the Dolphins does not look like an NFL player, in my opinion. But yeah, enough of this game. It was a very dry NFL Thursday game. Hopefully Tua recovers, like I said. Very scary situation. Bills win it 31-10. On to the next game, ladies and gentlemen. I went in schedule order. So I went from Thursday game, 1 p.m. games, 4 p.m. games, to the primetime 8 o'clock game, or 8:20 game. So I'm gonna be talking about some games that y'all probably don't care about. I know there's some exciting games out of order, but I'm gonna keep it in order, guys. So just bear with me. Love y'all. Keep tuning in. I'm gonna keep giving y'all some good stuff. But we got 49ers Vikings, guys. Vikings win it 23-17. And in my opinion, is upset of the day. I did not expect this. I did not expect the Vikings to win this game. I mean, Brock Purdy did not have a great game. He did throw for 300 yards. Yeah, Brock Purdy did throw for 300 yards, but another no-show game from Brandon Ayuk. He's not getting enough touches. I think today he only had four catches for 43 yards. I mean, he did all that whining this offseason about his bag, not getting his contract, but he ain't really showed up. I know it's only been 2 games. He's just now getting cranked up. But this shows the importance of training camp and being there, getting reps in with your guys. He didn't look good this game. Did not look good. Did not look good last week. Debo Samuels had another dominant game. Debo went 8 catches for 110 yards. No touchdowns this week for Debo Samuel, but the Vikings defense really held down that passing game. George Kittle did have a receiving touchdown today. George Kittle was way better than last week. I think he had 7 catches today. And Jordan Mason, Christian McCaffrey's backup, had a very good game again. 20 carries for 100 yards and a touchdown. Picked him up in fantasy this week. Shout out Jordan Mason. The guy looks good, man. He looks really good. He will be McCaffrey's backup for the foreseeable future. C-Mac is on a 4-week IR for the San Francisco 49ers, but they saying he could be out longer. They're saying it's looking like 5 to 7 weeks, definitely at least 4 weeks. But man, I'm not liking what I'm hearing from the 49ers camp about C-Mac's Achilles injury. They're saying it's Achilles/calf area. I think it's similar to the same thing as the Kevin Durant situation where he got hurt on the Warriors. This injury, you definitely just have to sit out and let that thing heal. You cannot play through it, especially at the running back position, especially as a football player. You just gotta let that thing ride out. Don't rush back C-Mac. Hope for a speedy recovery for that guy as well. But onto the Viking side, Sam Darnold with another solid game. 268 yards. He had a 2 touchdown, 1 interception split today. Justin Jefferson caught an absolute bomb today. He had 4 catches for 133 yards. Did leave the game early with a quad injury, but he is okay. He said he should be ready for week 3, according to himself in the postgame interview and Adam Schefter. Vikings win it, man. 23-17 in an upset victory. On to the next game. I was absolutely cheesing watching this game. Stephen A. Smith dropped a video shortly after this game. And if I mention Stephen A. Smith, y'all should know who I'm talking about. The Dallas Cowboys lose in Dallas to the New Orleans Saints 44-19. After I was just hyping this damn defense and saying how they look so good, how they look like a top 3 defense. They got 43 on their mata at the crib. Not a good look for Dallas this week, but it's only week 2. I expect the defense to get it together. But man, does this guy Derek Carr look good? I'm pretty sure the Raiders are absolutely sick to their stomachs for writing this guy off as quick as they did. But Derek Carr with another solid game, 293 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have an interception, but another solid game from Carr. Another monster game from Alvin Kamara. He finished the day with 4 total touchdowns with 115 yards, 20 carries. This is looking like the Alvin Kamara of his prime. I mean, he's healthy. He looks good. He's moving the ball well. Oh, he's moving with the ball well. I mean, he's always had the best balance in the NFL since I've been watching it. He looks awesome, bro. Shout out to the Saints. They look really good to start off this season. I think they're going to upset a lot of teams this season. They're in a very weak NFC South division. So I'm not surprised what I'm seeing from this team. And yeah, Saints win it 44-19. Not much to talk about with the Cowboys. That's why I'm moving on to the next game. Cowboys looked very, very shaky in this one. Not a lot from Dak Prescott. The running game was absolutely horrendous for the Cowboys. They got some things to get together. Defense was very out of whack today. But like I said, it's only week 2. Expect to see better. On to the next game, Seahawks versus Patriots. Seahawks win it in overtime, 23-20. And the New England Patriots in the Gerard Mayo era are looking very solid, even though they lost this game. Like what I'm seeing from the running game with Ramondre Stevenson still. Ramondre did have a slower game than last week, but still finished with 81 yards. Antonio Gibson had 11 carries for 96 yards for the Patriots as well. But passing game is still not good. Jacoby Brissett didn't look as good as he did last week. But the Seahawks, guys, 2-0 under Geno Smith. He was a gunslinger today. Threw it 44 times for 327 yards. DK, 10 catches for 129 yards. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 12 receptions for 117 yards. This game was really good. One off into OT. This game was hidden in red zone for some reason. I didn't see enough of this game. I wanted to see more of this game. Kenneth Walker was out for the Seahawks, so they won without their lead back. But yeah, man, this is a very competitive game. Seahawks are always in tight games. Game that they were in last week was a good one as well. But they edged this one out in a game-winning field goal, 23-20. Next game we're going to be talking about, guys, Colts versus Packers. Packers win it 16-10. And biggest takeaway from this game is my takeaway that I had last week with the Colts. Anthony Richardson is a very erratic football player. My goodness, is he fun to watch, but he makes some very scary decisions with the ball sometimes. Finished with 204 yards on the day, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. One of them was a garbage time pick at the end of the game, but still on the stat line, 3 picks. Was not good today. Ran the ball good, but he just does not make very smart decisions with the ball. Excuse me, as he should be. Josh Jacobs was an absolute tank today. 32 carries for 151 yards for the Packers today. My goodness, was he toting that thing. This is his best game in the Packers jersey. Obviously, he's only played 2 games. Packers today with no Jordan Love. He's recovering from his MCL sprain. He's expected to be out 3 to 5 weeks, but he was questionable all the way up until today. So he could come back even sooner. But great game today by the Packers. Malik Willis managed this game very well. 12 for 14 from the field, 122 yards and a touchdown. I wrote Malik Willis off. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I wrote him off. Thought he was garbage. But Malik Willis is not garbage. I apologize to you, brother. I was not familiar with your game. 12 for 14 is very solid. Even if you only had 120 yards, you had a TD. You managed the game well, threw a touchdown to Dontavian Wicks. Very solid game for the Packers today. They only held the Colts to 10 points. It was an all-around good game for Green Bay. They're back in the win column after losing week 1 to the Eagles. I would love for the Packers to lose every week as a Packers hater, but Packers win this one 16-10. On to the next game. We got the Raiders versus the Ravens. I take what I said back. This was upset of the week. Raiders win it 26-23. Gardner Minshew outplays Lamar Jackson in this game. Something I never thought I'd ever say in my life. But Gardner Minshew, 30 for 38, 276 yards, 1-1 touchdown interception split. I mean, my notes in the beginning of this game is that Gardner Minshew is trash and that he needs to be taken out the game. But Gardner Minshew is not trash. Another dude whose game I was not familiar enough with. Sorry, my boy. You played good today. You got a dub over a very good team. He managed the game well. And he actually did more than manage the game. He threw the ball a lot. 38 times is a lot of passing for a quarterback, especially of the caliber of Gardner Minshew, who's not very great. But this was mainly a very slow game for the Ravens offense. The receivers are still not clicking with Lamar Jackson yet. The running game is still not what I hoped it would be with Derrick Henry. He did have 18 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown, but it's just still not as dominant as I thought it would be, man. I thought that this team would at least get I might be dragging it, but I thought they would average around 180 rush yards a game to 200 with this Lamar Jackson Derrick Henry combo. But John Harbaugh did say, don't expect Derrick Henry to be running the ball 30 times a game, and he ain't lying. I mean, 18 carries this game. I think he only had 14 carries last game. He's not gonna try to overwork Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is 31 years old. So yeah, the Ravens lose this one 26-23, man. Devontae Adams also with a bounce back game, 9 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown. And the Ravens are 0-2, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely did not expect this out of the Ravens for them to be 0-2. Because it's the Ravens, man. Lamar Jackson has never lost 2 straight games to start the season. This is the first time in his career he's been 0-2. Very unexpected start to the season for the Ravens. But they'll get it together, man. They got John Harbaugh as the coach, top 10 coach in the league, top 5 wide receiver in the league, top 5 running back in the league. They're top 5 in a lot of categories. They'll get it together. I ain't too much worried about the Ravens. But on to the next game. Bucks win it against the Lions 20-16 in a rematch of last season's NFC second round game. And Baker Mayfield, man, who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it, man? Baker Mayfield with another solid game. 12 for 19 today, 185 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT split for him. He managed the game pretty well today. He wasn't as dominant as he was last week, but still another solid game from Baker. Jahmyr Gibbs for the Lions, 13 carries, 84 yards, 106 total yards this game. And a TD for David Montgomery. They had a good running back duo today this game. This game was very strange, man. I think that the Lions outplayed the Bucks. When you look at the stat sheet, you look at the numbers, they had way more total yards than the Bucks, over 100 total yards than the Bucks did. But the Bucks, when it came down to it, they played good in the red zone, man. I mean, Jared Goff did have a bad game, 34 for 55, 307 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 INTs. I mean, he was just not clinical when they needed him today. And the Bucks came up with key stops. I mean, they couldn't stop Aiden Hutchinson on that line. Aiden Hutchinson had 4.5 sacks today, was 1 sack away from tying the franchise record for the Lions for sacks in a game, which is 5.5. That young man looked unreal today. Chris Godwin, 7 receptions for 117 yards. He's starting off this season great after having a very rough season last year after coming off that ACL injury. Baker Mayfield, who would have thought this, man? Bucks are 2-0. The Bucks of Tampa Bay are 2-0. I know my boy KD got some talking to do to me. He really talks trash anytime his Bucks are playing straight, and they 2-0. You know, they got a better record than my Bears, so I expect a call from you, brother. But Bucks win this one 20-16. On to our next game. We got the Jets versus Titans. Jets win this one 24-17. Another slow offensive game for the Jets. They looked a little better today. They had more possession. Another good game by Breece Hall, 114 total yards. Had a beautiful touchdown catch from Aaron Rodgers today. Aaron Rodgers today, 18 for 30, 176 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had an okay game. Hasn't reached 200 yards passing yet. And that connection with him and Garrett Wilson is not clicking like how I thought it would be. But the offense got a dub today against a pretty good Titans defense. And Will Levis was thrown on the bus by his coach again. And he did, in fact, throw away another game. Will Levis, 19 for 28 today. 192 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And he did have a very silly fumble. I mean, guys, the man was getting taken down for a sack, and he pitched it backwards to the running back. The running back wasn't looking. Fumble recovery for the Jets. It was as bad as the turnover he had against the Bears last week, where he basically gifted us a pick six. But yeah, Will Levis did throw away this game again, guys. He's had a very shaky start to this season. I expect him to get it together, and if not, the Titans are in some trouble because the Titans don't have a very deep quarterback room. But yeah, Jets win this one 24-17. On to the next one, guys. We got a very low scoring game. This was one of the nastiest games of the day to watch. Browns versus Jags. Browns win this one 18-13. Deshaun Watson with a slightly better game than last week. He's still not back to his old self, and I don't think he will be back to his old self, ladies and gentlemen. He just looks so nervous out there, guys. Looks like he just doesn't have his heart in the game anymore. It's really disappointing to see Deshaun play like this. It really is. He was a top 5 quarterback in the league to arguably a bottom 5 quarterback in the league. Like, it's very strange with Deshaun Watson and his fall from grace. But hopefully he gets it together. I'm gonna keep saying this episode. It's only week 2. I mean, I can't hit the panic button yet with a lot of these teams, but damn, it don't look good for a lot of these teams. Also, the Jags, Trevor Lawrence, another mid game, 14 for 30, under 50% passing for 220 yards. I know Jags fans listening to this, your O-line is not good. I'm very aware of that. I have a team with a bad O-line as well. But Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson, the head coach, they are very overrated as a duo. I think Trevor Lawrence is overrated at QB. I think Doug Peterson is overrated as a coach. I am not liking what I'm seeing decision making wise. Like, you have to get on that line, you have to audible. The play calling is not good. Trevor Lawrence is not making great passes, even though he is running for his life at times. I understand, Jags fans, don't kill me, but I'm just not liking what I'm seeing from this Jags team so far in this season. They start off 0-2, which was expected for me. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect much from the Jags this season. Travis Etienne was not that good today. 13 carries for 52 yards. He did have a touchdown. But yeah, Jags lose this one. Jags lose this one 18-13. Not much to show from the much to say from the Browns offense. Very gritty game, very grinded out type of game. 18-13 Browns. On to the next one. We got Chargers versus the Panthers. And we just got some big news today that I did introduce into the pod. Bryce Young was benched today, guys, for Andy Dalton. I'm still kind of in shock, man. I mean, it's only the man's second season. It's only into the second week of the season. I don't know why they would bench him this early, but Coach Canales has seen enough. He doesn't want the season to spiral away, he says. I don't know what he expects from the Panthers. They're very bad. I ain't going to say too much about them. They're just a very bad team, very bad franchise as a whole. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. Me personally, I would have waited out at least 4 weeks to see if Bryce could give you something. But guys, Bryce was running for his life in this game. Every time Red Zone turned this game on, this man was running in circles. And at the end of the play, he was getting absolutely mollywopped by a D lineman. He looks so tiny out there, guys. It honestly looks like a player, a creative player off Madden, man. Like, he's just running out there and running and just not doing nothing with the ball. He's not getting it out to his playmakers. They drafted Leggett, they got Thielen, they got Deontay Johnson, and they look frustrated every time going to the sideline. 18 passes for 84 yards and an INT for Bryce Young today. It's a very, very gross stat line. I feel very bad for Panthers fans out there. You never have much to root for. It's just like, damn. But a very good game offensively for the Chargers today. J.K. Dobbins with another elite game. 17 carries for 131 yards and a touchdown. Quentin Johnson is alive, ladies and gentlemen. The brother is alive. The TCU wide receiver slender may be coming to an end. because he single-handedly might be getting y'all out of it. 5 catches for 51 yards and 2 touchdowns for Quentin Johnson today. Justin Herbert did hurt his leg in this game, guys. He did get a MRI today. Waiting on results for that. I don't know the results yet, but he did end up returning in this game. So I hope it's not a very serious injury. But Jim Harbaugh is absolutely coaching this team to perfection. The defense looks way better than last season. The running game looks great with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Uh, Justin Herbert hasn't had a really good game slinging the ball yet, but they're winning games. The Chargers are 2-0, man, and they win this game comfortably against the Panthers 26-3. On to the next game, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Commanders versus the Giants. This game is not as nasty as the Browns Jags game, but this game was all field goals. This is a field goal game, ladies and gentlemen. 21-18, all field goals. I mean, I can't believe I don't think I've ever seen an all field goals game in my entire life of watching football, and I'm 23 years old. Like, this game was crazy to watch on Red Zone. Red Zone tried to hide this one. I'm not gonna lie, but Commanders win it 21-18. Malik Neighbors with the first big game of his career, 10 catches for 127 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Jones actually looked competent today. He did not look garbage. Daniel Jones 16 for 28, 178 yards and 2 touchdowns. For the Commanders today, Brian Robinson had a crazy game. Many men wish death upon me. Shout out to Brian Robinson coming off his second season from being shot last year. 17 carries, 133 yards for the big man today. Jaden Daniels, 23 for 29, 226 yards. And that young brother can run the ball. My family was on me today when I kept saying he looks like a mini Lamar Jackson when he runs it. And I'm standing on that. Y'all going to see when the touchdowns start rolling up for him. But yeah, Jaden Daniels looked pretty good. Looks the same as last week, kind of. The Washington O-line is still terrible. They allowed 5 sacks today. But they win this one off of a very key drop at the end of the game by Malik Neighbors, man. He dropped a toe tap sideline grab that could have got the Giants a first down, but he dropped the ball. Devin Singletary also had a good game, 16 carries for 95 yards. He had a touchdown and a key fumble in this game as well. But MVPs of this game go to the kickers. Giants win this one at the end of the game. Oh, I'm sorry. Commanders win this one at the end of the game, 21-18 in a slugfest. But on to the Rams versus Cards games. Cards win it 41-10. And guys, Marvin Harrison Jr. is here. Jr. is here. Kyler Murray was absolutely dealing to him in the first quarter. 2 absolute bombs. I think in the first quarter alone, Marvin was at 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. First quarter alone. And last week, he had 1 catch for 4 yards. Kyler Murray, great game overall. He only missed 4 passes today, 17 for 21, 325 yards, and 3 total touchdowns for the dude. Great game from Kyler today. He still looks like a little kid out there scrambling the ball when he's running. He's moving like a little rabbit. He looks quick. He's fast. He's getting guys the ball. What a game from Kyler Murray today. And the Rams defense is absolutely horrible. They gave up 41 today, and they did have a bad defensive game last week against the Lions. But I'm not gonna criticize this team too much. They did lose a generational player this summer in Aaron Donald. Their offense is very beat up. Cooper Kupp got hurt in this game with an ankle injury. Kupp is hurt again, unfortunately. Puka Nacua is on IR for at least 4 weeks with the knee injury. Could be longer for Puka as well, according to Sean McVay. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Rams, guys. They start off this season 0-2. James Conner for the Rams, another good game, had a touchdown in this one. Cards win this one in a very lopsided victory, 41-10. Not too much to talk about in this one. Cards absolutely dominated this game. On to the next one, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Bengals versus the Chiefs in Burrowhead. Chiefs win this one 26-25. I am very disappointed with how this game ended, guys, because like I said last week with the Ravens Chiefs game, I think that the refs had a very big part into this game, man. I really think that they are rigging these games for the Chiefs. I'm not gonna say rig because rig is a very corrupt word, but they are very they're very leaning towards the Chiefs side. They leaning towards the Chiefs a lot, and it's very evident. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think Joe Burrow fumbled that ball that turned into a loss of possession to the Chiefs. And I think that PI call was iffy. It was a 50-50 call. You can go either way, but I would not have called that call in that situation. It was a very gritty, grinded out game. And yeah, the refs kind of disappointed me in this one again. Jamar Chase was shut down again, 4 catches for only 35 yards. He's not looking like he's going to get that big contract from the Bengals that he was expected to get. But he'll get it somewhere else. It's Jamar Chase, still a top 10 guy in the league at the position. Joe Burrow had a good game today, 23 for 36, 258 yards and 2 touchdowns. Joe Burrow is going to use those weapons. No T. Higgins still as he's recovering from that hamstring injury. And Pat Mahomes with another shaky game, 18 for 25, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks on the day. He didn't look great. He underthrew that first pick. That was one of the craziest picks I've ever seen. One-handed pick by the Bengals DB. I'm not sure his name, but an insane one-handed grab on the pass to Worthy. Isaiah Pacheco did get hurt in this game, and he left the game in a walking boot. MRI is awaiting for Pacheco. Speedy recovery from him, but he did have a big game. 19 carries for 90 yards in this one, and Chiefs win it in a game-winning field goal on that PI call. And yeah, not a very big fan of how that game ended, but Chiefs win it 26-25. On to the next one. We got Steelers versus Broncos. Steelers won this one 13-6. Justin Fields in this game, 13 for 20. He had 144 total yards in this game and a touchdown. He did manage the game very well, but did not have a great game in this one. Bo Nix, 20 for 35, 246 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 picks for the rookie. He's still settling in. Excuse me. But this Broncos offense is not good. Not a lot of weapons. They don't have a running game, so the offensive pass game is not very open for them. So it's very easy to contain the passing game. And yeah, they shut down this Broncos defense. Only had 6 points. Steelers may have the best defense in the league. It's either the Steelers or the Bears, in my opinion. But very, very slow game, grinded out game. Steelers win this one 13-6. Now, guys, I'm gonna take my time with this game because I'm very upset at how this game went. But my Chicago Bears lose on prime time in a game that we should have won. Man, I gotta be real. I gotta be real PG when I talk about this game because I do wanna rant. I do wanna say some negative things because I'm mad, I'm disappointed in my team. But the Bears lose this one 19-13 to the Texans. CJ Stroud, 23 for 36, 260 yards and a touchdown. Nico Collins absolutely violated us today. 8 receptions for 135 yards and a touchdown. He was throwing around our DBs in the end zone after he scored. I was very pissed at that. Caleb Williams today, 23 for 37, 174 yards. 2 picks on the night. Not a very good game from my boy today. Khalil Herbert did have a rushing touchdown today. DeAndre Swift is still not running the ball very well. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from our O line. We cannot run block. We cannot pass block. I'm just not liking what I'm seeing from my O line, man. Two false start penalties from our best lineman, Darnell Wright. Our right guard and center do not look good. They're not in sync. They're getting our guy hit out there. I mean, they're having a field day in our backfield getting to the quarterback. Texans had their second most sacks in franchise history today, 7. Just goes to show how bad our O-line was today. And this game was a very, very bad game with penalties. If you watch this live, you're like, damn, why does the game keep on stopping? I mean, 21 total penalties, 9 by the Bears, 12 by the Texans. And yeah, like the offensive line holding on this play, false start on this play. It was just bad coaching all around the board, bad play calls. Eberflus challenged two of the worst. If my I watched this game with my sisters, guys. If my sisters are saying why would he challenge that, it must be a pretty bad challenge, brother. Like what are you challenging, Eberflus? I don't know what that was. I still have faith in Flus, but those two challenges were very questionable. I'm still rooting for my team. I'm still rooting for my quarterback. He's a rookie. I'm gonna give him some time. But he made two very questionable decisions today. He did miss DJ Moore on a nice little comeback route where he missed him, and DJ was visibly upset. But we will get it together. I'm not gonna stress too much. That is my mini rant on the Bears. I kept it cool. I didn't go crazy like I wanted to. Kept it cool. Nice little mini rant. Little baby rant. But Bears did lose this one 19-13. And that is all for the games this week. I did not cover, of course, the Eagles versus Falcons game. That game is tonight at 8 p.m. on ESPN. On to our first segment on More to the Story, guys. My top 5 way too early hot takes of the week. I'm going to be going from 5 to 1. 5 being the least hot take, number 1 being the hottest take. I should have revised my number 5 take because it just happened. I know I said I revised it, but I'm going to keep it because this is how I really felt. This is what I really felt on the day, and it came true. So it wasn't really a hot take. It was a great take by me. So at number 5, for my way too early hot takes on the 2022 season, I had Bryce Young getting benched. I honestly couldn't believe Bryce Young would get benched this early in the season. I thought they would give him at least 4 weeks, but Coach Canales is fed up with it. Bryce Young has been benched for Andy Dalton. I know I talked about this already in the game earlier, but yeah, that is my number 5 for my way too early hot takes. On to number 4, I have the Tampa Bay Bucks being a actually good playoff football team. The Bucks are 2-0 and they looked solid in both of their football games. Their defense looks good. Baker looks like a competent quarterback who can win this team games. And yeah, the Bucks. I mean, who would have thunk it? I mean, I know I did not have this on my bingo card for the NFC South having 2-0 teams, but the South have 2-0 teams, man. This is crazy. The Tampa Bay Bucks 2-0, Baker Mayfield being a good quarterback. They are number 4 on my way too early hot takes of the season, man. Bucks may be a good playoff team. Number 3 for my way too early hot takes on the season. I hope all my Bears fans listening to this are not disappointed in me and know that this is a way too early take on the season, so don't kill me. But Caleb Williams may be a bust. last week he was under 50% throwing the ball and did not have 100 yards. This season, 2 touchdowns and did not eclipse 200 yards. And got sacked and ran around in the pocket like a headless chicken, scaring me. I'm not liking what I'm seeing so far from Caleb Williams. Even though the O-line is bad, I've seen quarterbacks make do with anything in front of them. For example, Joe Burrow. Actually, Joe Burrow's rookie season, he got hurt because O-line was so bad. But his second season, his O-line was really bad, and he made it work. And he made the team look good. I expected that from Caleb. I expect him to perform in any condition. But this O-line may really be that bad. But I also haven't seen the throws from Caleb, man. He's missed throws to Keenan Allen. He's missed throws to Rome Odunze. He's missed throws to DJ Moore. He just has not looked very good this season throwing the ball. I know it's early. I know it's week 2. But the young brother ain't looking good. And he's number 3 on my way too early hot takes that he may be a bust. For number 2 for my way too early hot takes on the season, I have the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals will miss the playoffs. I know they're 0-2. I know what I said earlier in the pod, that is week 2 and they're top 5 in every category. And that is going to be a grinded out season. But guys, that AFC division is tough. It's tough. I mean, the Browns defense always come through. Who else? The Steelers are 2-0, and they're not even clicking the offense yet. Their defense is that good. It's like, guys, you guys got to get it together. I mean, the schedules don't get any easier for both teams. This is going to be a rough season. It's going to be a tough season. The Ravens did lose a lot of people this summer. The Bengals also did lose a lot of people this summer. But I honestly thought that their star players would just will them to victories, and they have not yet. And yeah, it could be a long season, and it could be a season where both of these powerhouse teams miss the playoffs, guys. Don't be surprised. You heard it here first on More to the Stories, way too early hot takes. So for number 1, for the inaugural, right? I said it. I know I said it right. For the way too early hot takes, coming at number 1, the New Orleans Saints are an actual contender for the playoffs and to be a good team in the NFL. New Orleans Saints with Derek Carr. Guys, yes. The New Orleans Saints start off the season 2-0 in absolutely dominant fashion, putting up 40 points in their first 2 games already. And I thought it was a fluke when they absolutely blew out the Carolina Panthers, but they gave the Dallas Cowboys a case of the beats this week as well. Derek Carr looks great. Alvin Kamara looks great. The defense is clicking with the Honey Badger. He got a pick in this one. Cam Jordan still getting to the quarterback. Defensive line looks good. Linebackers look good. Rashid Shaheed is an absolute stud. He has a touchdown in each of the 2 games on absolute bombs. They're still waiting on Chris Olave to heat up. The Saints look scary, ladies and gentlemen. I will not disrespect the Saints anymore this season. They are number 1 on my way too early hot takes that they will actually be a good team, guys. So yeah, that's all 5 of my way too early hot takes of the week. I will be having, I think, a week 8 mid-season hot takes. That was my way too early hot takes, ladies and gentlemen. On to my week 2 side notes and overall recap of sports on the weekend. Because I told you guys I'm be coming at you with all sports. I'm be coming at you with soccer, basketball, some UFC, everything. Oh, I'm so sorry to my soccer fans. Football. I'm gonna be coming at y'all with the football news. I'm gonna be coming at y'all with the UFC news, boxing news, all that good stuff. Canelo Alvarez wins this weekend by unanimous decision. Absolutely dominant performance from Canelo. UFC 306 was a great one this weekend. If you said that 306 was not good, you're a UFC casual. We got two really good main events. I know it was the wrestlers that won the fight in the O'Malley versus the Dvalishvili fight. And I know I said Marab's name right, so don't try to correct me. But Marab Dvalishvili is the new UFC bantamweight champion as he beats Sean O'Malley by unanimous decision. Crazy. This is crazy. I mean, I had Marab to win this fight, but I didn't expect him to make Sean look this elementary. I mean, he little boyed Sean that whole fight, took him to the ground, played with him. Sean really only got some good shots in the last 30 seconds of the fight. Um, we also have a new champion for the women's. Valentina Shevchenko beats Alexa Grasso, and Noche Knight, the Mexican native, loses. She was also dominated in this fight. And yeah, it was a good co-main. Two new champions. I'm never mad at that, guys. I'm never mad at new champions. To the UFC fans that are not happy with the outcome, y'all are absolutely bugging. Get it together. Great card. Good job by Dana White and the guys. Also got an announcement for the UFC. John Jones versus uh Stipe Miocic is happening. I think they're dragging it with that fight. I don't think it should be happening, but it's happening, guys. Coming next month, or not next month, 2 months in November. I think John Jones wins this fight. Stipe is an old man. He's 43 years old. Even though he says that he's still at the best shape of his career, this is the GOAT, Stipe. You're going up against the GOAT. Don't know how that's going to turn out. But all around good card. I love 306. I'm going to do a little quick Premier League wrap up of the weekend. Arsenal beat Tottenham in a good one. They win it 1-0. Nottingham Forest upset Liverpool at Anfield. This is the first time they lose in Anfield to Nottingham Forest in 35 years. Absolutely thriller of a game. If I wish you guys can see that crowd. I didn't watch the game live. I watched the summary on Peacock. But man, just in the highlights, guys, goosebumps. I mean, absolute scenes when they scored the goal for Nottingham Forest. They win that game in an absolute close one. Man City win in another game. Erling Haaland has more goals than team goals for the Premier League. Erling Haaland is absolutely dominant. He's one of the best strikers that I've ever seen in the Premier League already. I mean, he set the record last season for goals in the season. He's on pace to break his own record. They gotta do something with Man City. They're just too good. They're too dominant. And I'm hating because I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm absolutely hating as a Chelsea fan. Speaking of Chelsea, we won 1-0 this weekend against Bournemouth. Aston Villa wins it 3-2 against Everton. Newcastle wins it 2-1 against the Wolverhampton Wanderers. Very good Premier League weekend. I hope that was a good enough wrap up for you guys because I know not too much people follow soccer, so I don't want to bore you guys with information. But I just gave you guys some scores, a little recap of how the weekend was. It was a very good weekend for sports. Like I said, a very dry weekend for college football, in my opinion. FSU's 0-3, by the way, for all my FSU fans. Y'all suck. But yeah, it was a very good NFL weekend, a very good NFL week. We got a good one tonight, this Monday, with the Falcons Eagles. Hope that's a good one. But I think that wraps up the pod, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I tried to switch up my style a little bit. I tried to be more of myself, tried to use some more personality in this podcast. I hope it wasn't too much. I hope I wasn't overbearing with the personality, y'all. I'm just trying to be more human and less robotic. I don't want to just sound like a robot spewing information at y'all, just giving y'all numbers and stats. I got some very good constructive criticism from my previous episodes. So I'm just trying to change it up, trying to find my style, trying to find my niche. You feel me? I'm just trying to come accumulated to being behind the mic. I'm trying to become comfortable. I'm sorry I said that word like that. I got dry mouth. I got calm mouth from all that yapping I've been doing. But yeah, man, this is a good pod. I had fun recording this, guys. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Like I said, I hope you guys have a great work week. Hope you guys make some money. Hope you guys have a great week and a great Monday night listening to this pod, or any night y'all listen to this pod. This will be out on all platforms by the end of the week. It will be up on Spotify first, like always. And that will be the end of the episode. Thank you for tuning in to More to the Story. Ash, get it.